Today we are talking about the Union Pacific Train Depot, which is an iconic building in the downtown area. I always remember it being boarded up. Like, it was an active train station until 1986. It was all kind of creepy looking. But nowadays, it's hopping, dude. It's a lot of fun. My cameraman and I, we were just talking about, didn't we just do this? No, the Rio Grande station, completely different train station, and it's like 2 blocks from here. It's like right over there. The building is constructed of brick sandstone, the same type of bricks from the same quarry that they built Trolley Square out of. These bricks, however, were never painted. So when they extensively renovated the building in 1971, they changed out the roof. There was a slate roof from 1909 until 1970 that had a lot of leaks, caused a lot of problems. So they replaced it with the now iconic copper roof, which they only had for 15 years until they folded up shop. The tracks were already there. It goes back to the combination of the Transcontinental Railroad. East meets west. So the tracks were there. They decided, hey man, we need a place to get on the train. It actually did serve as a train station until the 1980s. From the early 1970s till about 1986, Amtrak still boarded trains at the Union Pacific Depot station. So 1986, Amtrak closes shop here, moves a couple of blocks south. In 1988, they actually donated the building to the state of Utah so that it become a Utah State History Museum. Something our state doesn't have, by the way. We should have one. Building sat empty until about 1997 when plans for the Gateway Mall came around. I'm a fiend for history. I love the fact that the Union Pacific Depot is here and that it has been historically maintained, but I'm also a huge music fan, which I'm really stoked that my favorite concert venue in the state of Utah also happens to be right here. It's called the Depot. So this was originally slated to be a House of Blues, and in fact, they built most of the inside to be a House of Blues concert venue. They pulled out at the last minute over, of all things, the sign. Salt Lake City and House of Blues disagreed over the size, style, and brightness of the sign, and House of Blues said, we're out. Luckily, the Depot moved in 2006 and turned this into one of the coolest concert venues in the state. Some of the bands we've seen here: Warrant, Rat, Lita Ford, Queensryche, and Jeff Tate, though not together. Slash, Candlebox, Alice in Chains, Chris Cornell, Lindsey Buckingham, Primus, Social Distortion, The Cult. Down here, this is where the bands get ready. These are the green rooms. Sometime around 2009, people started signing the walls. This is one of those things that, like, I love that, like, nobody knows that this is here. This isn't something that they get to show off to people. This isn't something that they let people come down and see. You get an idea of them kind of giving messages to each other rather than signing autographs for fans, which I think is really cool. It looks so much smaller without people in here. So you think about the capacity here. Tell me you got that. So this is how the roadies get equipment from the downstairs area to the stage. I myself got stuck in there once for like 2 hours. So many great shows have been in this room. This is my spot right here. So because I'm close to the soundboard, because that's where the sound is the best, and I'm not in the mix because punk rockers don't get old. We just stand in the back. So this is the roof of the grand lobby in the train station downstairs. So we're now above the entrance to the train station. It's cool. I love that they put a window here. I don't know what it is exactly, but this is one of my absolute favorite buildings in Salt Lake. And I think it's because we used to be able to just walk in here. Like, even when the Gateway first opened and there was nothing in here at all, they would just leave the doors unlocked. There's 2 murals on each side, and both of them are original. They date back to 1909, which means the paintings on these walls are 113 years old. So I don't know how much of the Grand Hall will be preserved, but rumor is that they're going to preserve as much of it as possible as they turn this into a hotel lobby. It's kind of cool that such a important part of history, like you think about how many people have been in this room saying goodbye to a loved one before they go on a trip, or saying goodbye to your son or husband before they go off to World War II, maybe even for the last time. And that all happened right here as they were waiting at these ticket windows. If we can get in there. We'll crawl through. Dude, this is really cool. Here, hand me the camera. I'll show you around. Whoa. I mean, there's nothing in here, but you think about how important these drawers were, man. Like, this is the original, ticket windows. These stained glass windows were made in 1909 from a San Francisco artist named Harry Hopp. And these are actually only half. There's a matching set that was on the other side of the Grand Hall, but those have since gone missing. Where the building has settled and you have like this giant dip in the wall and where they've had to kind of fix it. So you have like this original jade tile that they've had since the 1900s, and then they've had to like paint over it, like plaster it in concrete. So, and this building like has settled right here, and then you see a giant crack that goes tearing across the floor. So this side, this is one of the buildings that'll be torn down. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be in here, but this was the Urban Outfitters store. Something about being in an empty store with all the lights off and what appears to be some sort of alarm beeping in the background. Oops. Creepy, man. But it's the cool thing is that you can kind of see the old exterior of the building. So there you have it, man. The Union Pacific Depot in Salt Lake City, right here on South Temple and 4th West. Drop on by, go on in and check it out before they start construction on the new hotel. As always, like it, subscribe to it, and comment below and tell us what you want to see next time on Cool Stuff in Utah.